Hey, beautiful souls. I'm so excited the day is finally here. Welcome to the On God's Payroll global event. And this session, the 11/11 opening ceremony and meditation, we are on God's payroll. I'm so grateful and excited that you're here. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me and thousands of others around the world who heard the call and said yes to being on this journey together. We have an extraordinary group from all over devoted to the highest expression of our soul work and leadership. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm thrilled we're kicking off on this 11/11 portal day. I'm going to say a few words about that in a few minutes. But first, I just want to mention a few things so you can receive the most from this session and from the event overall. So just a few simple admin things. Ensuring that for every session, bring a pen and paper, whether something comes from the session itself or just the being in this space itself, the intention behind it all, you're going to be receiving downloads, insights, aha moments, nuggets of wisdom, transmission. So be prepared with a pen and paper handy for each session. Definitely recommend having water, keeping yourself hydrated, light a candle as you come into each session or some other way that you set sacred space for yourself. And just say, this is time for me and my soul with the divine. And just shutting off all distractions, making sure you won't be disturbed, whether it's airplane mode on your phone or closing tabs on your computer. Whatever it is to signify that you are here, you are present, you are ready, and you're devoted to make your divine connection and alignment your priority. So with those few things out of the way, just a quick overview. What are we doing here? Why are we here? This particular session is to open our event, our immersive 5 days together to set the energy and the intention for the event, for your personal journey here. And we're going to do a quick centering and grounding in a moment and just arrive fully. And then I'll share a bit about myself. There's so many of you I've never met that are new to my world. So welcome to you, and welcome to those who've been in my world for some time and are so deeply devoted to your path, your soul work. And so hear my story again, perhaps, but just staying open to whatever wants to download to you in those moments. Maybe you'll hear something differently that'll spark something for you, and then we'll go into our meditation to support you in setting your intentions and to support your receiving overall. So let's start right away. This isn't the full meditation, but just a chance to center and ground and arrive here fully. So I'd invite you to just get comfortable in your seat or wherever you're situated. Maybe you prefer to lie down. And as you get comfortable, making sure your body feels supported, you can close your eyes. Take a sweet, conscious breath, just filling your lungs from the very bottom to the very top. Exhaling when you're ready. And just softening. You can use your inner eyes, your awareness to scan through your body and just see how you're feeling in this moment. What sensations are you aware of? Maybe you go top to toe or some other way, and just noticing what you notice. Maybe there are certain sensations or tensions. Maybe you notice areas of flowing energy that you can perceive. Maybe There are areas that seem blank or numb. Don't really notice anything happening there. And just letting whatever you discover be perfect. Just nourishing yourself with your own presence, your own awareness, which I liken to unconditional love. We all know how good it feels when someone is so fully present with us. And this is you gifting this to yourself in this moment. Allowing all to be as it is. And you can also just intend to soften. If there's any obvious tension, you can relax. Give permission to your system to relax. Even in ways you may be holding tension that aren't consciously apparent to you. Organs can hold tension, brain can hold tension. So just softening. Even observing the mind, it has its momentum, it has its chatter, its questions. Just observing it. As you observe it, you're not caught in it the same way. And the same with your emotions, whatever you're aware of, that's your dominant feeling. As we begin here, just welcoming that with your presence, with your awareness. And you can just call all of your energy back to you now that belongs in this moment. Any energy, attention, or awareness that the mind may have scattered elsewhere, left down the timeline of the past, or projected out into the imagined future. Calling it all back, it's returning to you with ease and with speed. So you just have this sense of being more fully here, open and receptive to everything that is available to you in this moment, which is everything. This is your only authentic point of power. Slowing down, more present. And you can ground by dropping a grounding column from the base of your spine down through the floor into the earth, traveling down through the layers of Mother Earth until it reaches a place at the center where it can connect in or wrap around some perfect way for this moment. You are deeply rooted, loved by Mother Earth, supported, held. And you can allow the magnetic pull of the earth to draw down all energies that be picked up from others or that you're complete with. Just nothing left to process or understand. Pulling the way down into the ground for recycling. You just have a sense of more openness and more spaciousness in your field as lots can fall away here, supported, loved, and nourished by the earth. You are here. You are present. You are grounded. You are held. And just listening with your whole being, not just with the ears, not just with the brain. That we've gathered here, and this is a vortex, a collective vortex of energy and a space of activation. And my intent is that this session and this entire 5-day event is of immeasurable value for you, for your soul work, for your path, for your leadership in the way that is just right for you. And so you can give permission here to receive a miracle, to receive exactly what's right for you. to not allow the mind to tell you that anything less than a miracle or multiple miracles is available. Don't underestimate what can happen for you as you join in this space with so many like-hearted and like-minded souls with pure hearts and pure intention. This space is not a doing. It's about your being and your receiving. What you focus on grows, and we're here to put focus on your soul, on your divine connection, on your embodiment, on your highest alignment, on the highest expression of your soul work and leadership. So let's celebrate all the yeses to those as priority. That you've said yes, and also you can expand your awareness now to connect with everyone else on this journey with you around the world, joining energetically with intent. You can send out a blessing, a gratitude. We all rise together. And saying yes to receiving the blessing of being in a group, knowing that group dynamics always amplify your individual effort. Saying yes. Not doing it alone. And saying yes to that the highest and best be done here for every single one. Joining, highest and best unfolds, is received, is activated, is realized. And you can listen again, just a few words about this 11/11 portal day. Just opening to receive with your whole being. Notice what pings for you energetically. As always, I say all the time, and I will say here as we start out and for this entire event, take what resonates and leave the rest, for all of it. What is meant for you will be obvious. Let the rest go. It's for someone else. We've been accelerating here since November the 1st on that 1/11 portal day. And today on the 11/11 portal, I'm going to share a few words from Divine Feminine 777. The 11/11 portal is the opportunity to level up big time. Number 1 represents an antenna, a channel of energy. And with 4 of them, the 11/11 portal is a powerful time of initiation, getting into balance and crossing the threshold from the old into the new. The 11/11 portal is all about inner balance, harmony, connectedness to all that is. We will receive new information in the form of ideas, inspiration, inner wisdom, and inner knowing. Be mindful of the nudges of your soul, signs, symbols, synchronicities that are all around you. Your soul is guiding you all the time. You just need to be present, observe, and listen. The energy will move through us more quickly during this time, which means now is an amazing opportunity to grow, but also we could feel quite a lot of pressure and triggering because of it and experience ascension symptoms. Take care and have fun. And the overall statement is extraordinary potential to grow. And so receiving what's meant for you in that. And I'm going to share those few words about me, about how this event came to be, and then we'll go even more deeply into meditation. So you can stay listening with your eyes closed if you wish. Maybe you're going to note something down that's already started to flow to you. And so for me and this journey that I've been on and what called me to create this event, well, it's a representation of my own journey and my own next level of my soul work and leadership. I started back in the day in the corporate world. I did an MBA in international policy. And after finishing that, I went to work for Fortune 500 multinational corporations, mostly because I wanted to travel. I thought working for big international companies would be a great way to travel. And I did. I traveled a lot actually for my work at the time. And while I was still in corporate, I had been in, I would say, personal development for about 10 years. And my spiritual path cracked open after a heartbreak actually came through a relationship challenge. And it led me into an accelerated spiritual path. And I ended up on a self-mastery retreat in the rainforest of Costa Rica. And while I was there, I received a very clear vision, a download to leave my job and travel the world, teach, speak, and raise consciousness on the planet. And it was so clear, it was undeniable. And I actually went back and I resigned and had left my job within 2 months. And this was 7.5 years into my corporate career. I was on the fast track to executive leadership. Would have been very easy to continue on that path. A lot of people didn't understand why I left, but it was a knowing. It was, my soul was talking to me. And I thought I might take a 6-month sabbatical. It ended up being a year, and I did everything I wanted to do, literally everything. I did a master level certification in NLP. I became a Reiki master. I traveled extensively. I started dancing 5 times a week, yoga 3 times a week, retreats, learnings, trainings. I started jewelry making. Like, it was a very rich and creative time when I followed my joy completely. And that at the time, it was an interesting contrast. I had been really, abundantly well paid to follow the objectives of others when I was in corporate. And when I left to do all these things that were calling to my heart and my soul, I was funding them all myself from my savings. And so over the course of the year and following all these, these nudges and these excitements, I watched my, bank balance go down more and more. And so my burning question became, just from my own practical necessity, it became, how do I get paid to do all these things I love? And it was impossible. I couldn't go back to the way that I had been working at my path was expanding so quickly. And once I set that clear intention, things started to shift and come into alignment. I actually received an opportunity out of the blue to work from home as a freelancer to corporate. And I did that for 6 years. It was extremely abundant, lucrative. I was able to work 5 days a month to cover all my expenses and all my extracurriculars that I was doing to feed my heart and my soul. And after 6 years, I ended up with my main client, which was my main source of income at the time, we had a great relationship and we did some fantastic work together. He was in the sales training area. So I was helping him design and redesign sales training programs for their very large workforce, sales force. And he retired, and the company decided to slash their training budget. And so that main source of income disappeared. And I recognized myself at another expansion point, another decision point. Okay, how do I now? I'd gone into much more flexibility and freedom and working from home and working with someone I loved and using my skills and being paid really well for that. So it was now, okay, what's next? And I was still learning all that time, and I kept expanding. I still had visions of things I wanted to do. And I ended up in front of an opportunity that came to me to join a direct sales company that was in the personal development space. And it was all about the subconscious and, better daily habits. It seemed in many ways very aligned, but I could feel it was a fork in the road. I was speaking to the man who presented the opportunity to me, and he knew I was like, okay, do I follow this opportunity, or do I continue along something more independent and more pursuing the visions that I had been receiving? Never forget, he said to me in that moment we were having a conversation about what decision to make. And he said, Lisa, take care of the money first, and then you can do everything you want with your passion. And it was like a slow motion moment. Kind of watched myself receive that advice and override a knowing I had inside that I was about to make a decision that wasn't for my highest good. And I made that decision to go ahead with investing in that company. And I worked for 3 years to make that business work. And I had some flow and some abundance at various points, but overall, it did not work for me. It was not the right model. It was not true to my soul. And I realized I had made the decision based on money and logic rather than my own intuition and listening to my soul. And the ultimate outcome was after 3 years, I had to declare bankruptcy because I'd invested so much in that business and the return never came. And so I learned that lesson the very hard way. And that was 17 years ago now. And it really set me up to realign and reorient and put myself on my right path. And so I reinvented again, and I ended up at a training for conscious entrepreneurs. And at that training, as I dreamed about my vision and the things I wanted to create, which is exactly what I've been doing now for 14 years, I was hired by the person who actually put on the event to help create information products for his company, because it took my project management skills and I ended up learning online business. And it was like a whole other world, very different than I had done in business school or in the corporate world. And I was basically paid to learn online business and did really, really well in creating those products and programs over the course of that first part of that year. And then he invited me to start coaching his clients inside the company. And that evolved naturally. I did very, very well at that, and it evolved naturally into me going out on my own. And that was within less than a year. And I haven't looked back. That was 14 years ago. So over these 14 years, I've been serving executives and entrepreneurs in what I discovered was my soul work, my own burning question about how do I get paid to do what I love. I discovered was my purpose, was my mission, my soul mission, to help others thrive in their soul work, that I had powerful intuitive gifts, shamanic gifts, that I stand at the threshold between the invisible and the visible worlds. And I help to birth and midwife what comes from the soul's blueprint into form. And ultimately, it's a gift from the divine. I'm a rapid aligner, activator, and accelerator for the soul's highest path, the soul's highest mission. And some people call me a soul whisperer. All the spaces that I hold are designed to help those who are in my space to hear and trust and act on their soul's truth. And even those that are already doing what they love, and generally speaking, those that work with me are quite accomplished in business, have been devoted to their spiritual path for a good part of their journey. They're well into their spiritual path. And their devotion is to align the two. And so even if they're doing their soul work quite successfully, there's always more. There's always more another next level of truth to the soul's blueprint, to what the soul work wants to be next, to what the leadership wants to be next. And so I'm going to speak to that for just a couple minutes as well. Why this event at this time? And then we'll go into our meditation. This event was born out of this priority in my own life and in the lives of the clients that I work with to integrate spirituality in business. I had a vision of our economy, which I call the soul economy, being like nature. That each one of us, as we're true to our soul blueprint, as we're true to what we love, that we're meant to thrive at that what we're born to do, what we're designed to do, that is what we're meant for. And we are naturally meant to be supported in that with our abundance of all kinds, money and every other way. Not meant to sacrifice our health, our anything, our relationships. And we all inherit a lot of conditioning around work and money. It's all inverted and backwards on this planet and on this plane. So what I see, what I've known for years, is that we are the bridges between heaven and earth. And that as we continue to dissolve the imprints that we've received around work and money, we really can live the saying that I say all the time, how good can you stand it? That you are here to be a bridge between heaven and earth for the divine plan. You're part of the divine plan to come through you into form, to make your soul visible, to thrive at what you love, to give your gifts, and for it to continue to get better and better and better. And so this event was me being called to my next level of soul work and leadership, because I've been working for 14 years in a one-on-one and small group capacity, in an intimacy model, a boutique coaching model, up close and personal. And it's been fantastic. I've loved it. And I got the message that the next level of my mission is to reach more people, to share codes and frequencies. I have a natural love of sharing resources, sharing people who inspire me, resources that have worked for me. And so the idea of interviews had been in my awareness for a long time. And I thought about different ways I could do it. Podcast was certainly one possibility, and writing a book by doing a series of interviews and then basing the book on those interviews. I had various ideas come to me, having a membership and having guests come through the membership. There were like all these different possibilities. And when just over a year ago, the idea of doing an event, a chance where there could be a critical mass of transmission, because there were a bunch of interviews that I could do all at the same time with people that I hand selected, that I knew were living examples of this message, that listening to their stories and their lessons learned and receiving their codes, the transmissions that they had by what they had lived, it was an immediate knowing when that opportunity and that idea came in, and the mentor came to guide me in that, because it's quite a big undertaking. This event has a lot of moving parts. And so I started training for 6 months, and then for the last 6 months, so it's been a year, more than a year. For the last 6 months, I've been actively inviting the speakers that I wanted to interview and building this one step at a time. So of course, my history in project management helped me enormously with that. And I had great support to do it, not just one mentor. I had a number of people on my team helping me. So this was my yes into the next level of my soul work and leadership, to impact greater numbers. My intention was an audience reach of at least 100,000 people through the collective sharing across all the speakers. And we blew past that, well over 200,000. The response has been incredible. And I'm so, so, so grateful. And the timing is right. because there is something happening, and it's been happening for some time now, where leaders on this kind of a path have been getting the call into their next level. And that looks different ways for different people. It could be changes in their business, things slowing down, not having as much excitement for it, knowing it's time to do certain things, but being afraid to take that step, whether it's raising fees or letting go of something that's been working well, but the passion isn't there for it anymore. It can look a number of different ways. But there has been a call across the board to step up into this devotion for the next level of the soul mission, next level of the soul work, next level of leadership, next level of visibility, next level of truth to come through, and to dissolve any remnants in that of fear that there wouldn't be support for it. So if money's been slowing down, or if things have been not as exciting and you're being asked to let go of something that's been working, can bring up a lot of fear. And it's time for us to completely restore the paradigm. Instead of money first, it's soul first, it's joy first. My tagline in my business for years has been let soul lead. And it's a journey, it's a process. No matter how long you've been on this path, it's a process of ever greater deepening into this truth, into this alignment. And so these interviews and this event is about completing these old patterns, templates, imprints that we've received, ways of holding on to control, previous versions of you, dissolving judgments and resistances that are expired, ways of working, ways of earning money. So one major thing here is about completion. Another is about clarity, next step of soul vision, soul guidance, soul priorities, of next level leadership, of surrender to where the soul is leading. And then action, taking tangible, embodied next steps into that, implementing what is received from the soul, no matter how scary it is. And I can tell you, I've been through an initiation in this process. It has absolutely brought up every old pattern for the next level of facing, feeling, dissolving, completing, receiving the wisdom from. And so whatever you're being called into, let's see what emerges. This is for you who is dedicated to your spiritual path. You're here to fulfill your soul work in business. You're at a point where you're being asked to let go and surrender. There's something much more coming through you. And I want to support you in living that, saying yes to it. And it matters now. This is the time. It's your birthright to thrive at an unprecedented level at what you love. Systems and structures are crumbling. We all know that. It's all by divine design. What is rooted in separation is dying. And we are the alchemical containers through which the divine plan takes hold and gets expressed out in the world. We are bringing the new solutions, the new ways of being and working. And so, yeah, that's basically the old strategies won't get us there. This is a new era of embodied spiritual leadership, and we're here for it. So the last thing I'll say, and let's go into our meditation. When I interviewed each of these leaders, what I wanted to know from them were things like their own relationship with the divine, how they work with their relationship to money now, what obstacles they've faced and moved through, what points of surrender they had to navigate and how they navigated those, their turning points, their lessons learned, their best advice from living their experience, what the future looks like for us collectively from their perspective. And none of these conversations that you're experiencing here over the 5 days are meant to be instructive as if their way is right for you. The whole point is that everyone is unique. They're sharing their unique experience. You will take what resonates and leave the rest. In the unspoken, in the energetic transmissions, you will be receiving transmissions from each one for your own insight, your own aha moment, your own awakening. So take what's meant for you to be done in your way, according to your soul blueprint. They are all permission slips. Each conversation, each way they've done what they do is a permission slip to do it your way. Very important to say. So with that, let's go deeper into our opening meditation. And so if your eyes were open, you can close them again. You're still here rooted, centered in this moment, in receptive mode. And I want to say to you, thank you for the journey that you've been on. And just take a moment here to honor your path that's brought you here, the courageous steps you've taken, the dark nights of the soul that you've lived through, the tears that you've shed, the things that you've walked away from that no longer matched, because something in you said, keep going in this direction. And as we're here on this 11/11 portal day, a new beginning, crossing a new threshold, I'm going to invite you to take a moment, almost like you are looking down the timeline of your past, to behold all the versions of you that have come before, at all the stages of your journey. Whether you see them in your mind's eye or sense them, feel them, or just hold the intention of honoring every version of you that has come before. And allowing yourself to gaze upon them in such an energy of love, of kindness, of compassion, of peace, of acceptance. There is nothing to push against. There is nothing to fix. There is nothing to change. Every step you took brought you here. And anything that you still judge, anything that you are not proud of, anything that you may feel guilt or shame about, accept even that. It's okay. But just aware in this moment, there is no receiving what's meant for you, no proceeding from here on your highest path if you are resisting and trying to get away from something that happened before now, some version of you that was before now, some occurrence that was before now, choices you made. And even if it feels difficult, just going to invite you to hold the intention that you can just fully accept, fully allow, fully honor everything that has come before. And that in those moments when old patterns arise, conditioning rears its head, because it will, that you will be able to meet it with even more grace, more peace, and more acceptance every time. And as you do, as you hold that intention, as you hold all of your versions of you in this space of your awareness and in this intention, maybe you notice something, could be anything. Maybe they smile at you. Maybe they all hug and do a little celebration dance. Maybe they transform into butterflies. Maybe they collapse forward into you as a symbol of integration and acceptance. Or nothing. There's no way to do this wrong. There just may be a symbol of letting go, of trusting what that is for you. And as you look forward into this journey together, allowing yourself to become aware of why you're here. Why did you say yes? What is it that pulled you here, that is the intention in your heart, in your soul, that you're here to receive? Maybe that comes to you as a knowing, an image, a symbol. Trust your own system. Let it be perfect. And let that intention guide you. Open your path here to receiving exactly what's right for you over these days. Whether you're in a session or outside a session, maybe doing something completely unrelated, your soul is working with you. Your divine connection is working. Keep your journal close, or a place to keep notes and receive your downloads, capture them, record them. When you're ready, you can take a nice breath. Aware of your body in this time, in this place. Wiggling fingers and toes, bringing awareness to the body, maybe a gentle twist or stretch. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Knowing that this has been perfect. You can listen again if you wish. Come back to the recording when you wish to. And so as we come to the end here, I will mention that every single one of our speakers have a free gift for you, and I do as well. I actually have two, and you can see that right below on this page where you're watching and tuning in. The first one is a live call. So maybe actually what I'll say is there is a second session before I get to the free gifts. There is a second session that you can join me for. That's going to be on the Friday of this week. It's called Your Unique Soul Frequency. Discover what it is, why it matters, and how it radically aligns your reality. We'll be doing another meditation. And so I invite you to join me for that. And if you like this and want to actually be able to engage in a live and interactive call, I'm going to be hosting one on November the 20th. That's a Wednesday. That's my first free gift. And the live session is called Vibrational Leadership, Mastering the 2 Frequencies that Allow You to Permanently Exit the Matrix and Live on God's Payroll. It's on Wednesday, November the 20th at 10 Pacific, 1 Eastern, 6 UK. And the Zoom link is literally right below. So you can put that immediately into your calendar and you'll have the Zoom link and you'll get an email reminder as well. So I would love to engage and interact with you there. So that's my first free gift. Second one is the chance to win one of 3 private one-on-one soul attunement sessions with me. And that's for you. You can, there's a link below to apply for that. There's some details there. The applications close on November 17th, and the winners will be announced by November 22nd or contacted by November 22nd. So if that calls to you, please submit an application. And so we are here at the close of our first session. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Review the event schedule. Every single session is a transmission. So receive everything from the ones you're drawn to. Enjoy every moment. And I will see you in the next session. Much love. Bye for now.